kids. It's the old Captain Strange here. And as Topper would say, cheers. Ugh, but I'm teeny wangy. I'm glad I'm not getting behind the old controls tonight. Anyway, you know, I think I was going to, since we're all gathered around the holiday season, I was going to tell a story. And it's a true one. It's from my past. And I'm telling you, those are the best ones. So, without further ado, anyway, sometimes when I'm in deep space, I don't always go into hypersleep right away. I like to stay up and gaze out the cabin, too many of these, look out the cabin portals and gaze at all the vastness out there, man. I mean, it really puts you in perspective, we are just an infinitesimal speck in the universe. And I start to drift back to my embryonic musical period and regurgitate some lost memories. Woo! As the young rock and roller explorer that I was, oh gosh, here's a good one for you. This is a true tale from that galactic thing that I'm going to tell you about. Well, a long time ago, I found myself at an outdoor tribal gathering the night before it started. And there was me and 2 or 3 other geezers, and we had ingested some, shall I say, psychological mind-induced knowledge. Dig me? Okay. Seeing that we did not have a compass amongst us, and our bearings were certainly lost, we all got separated and a bit lost amongst the oncoming crowd. Whew. Now, jumping forward on that same night, all I can remember was losing my compadres, and the next thing I was directing traffic at maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, just shoving cars from the road into the fields. Just go that way or that way. Wherever that was, I don't know. But I was having a good time. Well, sometime around dawn, it occurred to me that I was a bit naked, sitting on a log with a huge traffic jam of freaks just grooving around me. Kind of like a massive friendly junkyard of cars and trucks and buses surrounding my rather large grin. Whee! Oh, those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end, and then they haven't for me. Anyway, okay, sorry. Got lost, but now I'm semi-founds. So here we go, baby, for our next episode. In honor of that tale, I present to you David Crosby, his first solo LP masterpiece of hippie heaven. Oh man, this stargazer has all the correct parts to get you to the great party there and back. Crosby couldn't get more people. He just couldn't get more people on this cruise ship if he wanted. I mean, the grooves couldn't handle the overload, baby. We'd be capsizing. We're talking hippie blues. This disc has them all. There's members of the Airplane, of the Dead, the Quicksilver, even Santana, all mixed into a psych stew of harmonies, and I mean serious harmonies, and heavy tune-zooming splendor. So let's do a small dose called Cowboy Movie. And when we have all gathered atop Mount Tamalpais at midnight, we'll just dance and groove till the dawn over the San Francisco Bay. ain't Woodstock Nation jamming, then there ain't no life in deep space. And I've proven that theory wrong. Man, this is a star cluster of musicians. Here is the cover. It's cool, baby. It's totally hippified. And there's David on the back with his really killer buckskin jacket. It's a gate folder, and all the appropriate people are there. Michael Shreve, Paul Kantner, Jerry's on this, Jerry Garcia, Jack Cassidy, yeah, baby. Bill Krautsman, Phil Lesh, Neil Young, Graham Nash, Dave Freeberg, Yorma. Man, you gotta have Yorma. Grace. I need a record without Grace on it. Greg Rowley and sweet old Joni Mitchell. Man, and Robert Hunter made an appearance. It's just happening. This is a happening. This is really cool. You need to get this one if you don't have it. Great vocals, man. I'm telling you, this is. I get trails just listening to the LP. They should all. This LP should already be in your stash, and if not, run, don't walk to get it. Okay? All right. Enough said. Well, never enough said, but we're moving on. Skimming across the pond is a freaky R&B combo. I'm digging R&B lately, as if you haven't noticed already. These cats are from Belfast, Ireland. Hui! In '64, and they're called The Wheels. Now here's a little factoid that should blow your mind, because it was like everybody in Belfast was like, what do they call it, 6 degrees of separation? Well, originally, Van Morrison was running with these cats before they changed their name. Small world, I'd say so. The Wheels wrote Bad Little Woman. Now that's if you're tuned into Garage, you're gonna know this. That tune was later covered by the Shadows of Night, who reeked. I mean, they reeked of this Belfast sound. I mean, you can just, once you listen to this, and I'm gonna play a cut, and then you listen to the Shadows of Night, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Along with them with Van Morrison, I should say, not from Van Morrison. Along with them, with Van Morrison, these cats were really breaking the scene up. So, let's get on the dance floor and shake a tail feather to a blaster called I'm Leaving. Come on over to the bar later, and I'll buy the next round, laddie. That's Scottish, that's not Irish. Sweaty after that one. I think I need to wet me whistle. That's better. Woo! That whole R&B garage band sound in America is really totally owned by these Belfast boys, along by a few blokes from London, the Stones. These bangers are knocking down doors and breaking glass. Here's the cover. Now dig it. The trend in those days, obviously, was long hair. And we got this geezer in the middle He shaved his head. Wow, how cool is that? I mean, talk about revolutionary. He's rocking it. That was the organ player. I don't know all the characters. I'm thinking from kind of like the credits on the back that this cat's the singer, and that's Ron Demick. Yeah, because he did the harmonica playing, and this whole album is just driving me nuts. I mean, loud is good, louder is even better. So, great find. Get it? I had this is a reissue because they did a couple of 45s, but most of this other stuff is just sort of a rehash, outtakes, whatever that they were able to scrape together. But it's all worth it. You know, rock it, baby, rock it. Okay, enough on that. See, I'm not forgetting to show them. Anyway, breaking out of trajectory next. Ooh, I said that good. Is a slamming guitarist from San Francisco. San Francisco. I love being here. It's everything I needed to ever want. Anyway, leaving the orbit of Blue Cheer. This cat left the orbit of Blue Cheer in '68 to go so alone. Is a cat named Lee Stephens. Oh man, him splitting forced the Cheer to move in different directions, and I mean different directions than the first two LPs. And it's all good. Everything that they did, and they did a lot, and they had a revolving door of musicians in that band. Cool stuff, really cool stuff. But it also gave Stephens the ability to expand his talents into it's like a rock, psych, kind of prog direction. Wow. A totally ultra crazy San Francisco sound. You know, it was happening. I mean, you can just tell. Okay, so let's plug the amps into the wall and crank up the decibels and put it on 11, and I'll catch this ditty called Red Weather. This needs maximum volume, so if you don't hear me knocking, I'll throw a rock at your head to get your attention. Catch a drink here. Oh, it's kind of flushes the vocal gizmo down there real good. So anyway, whoa! Here's the record. I'm digging this. Man, had the opportunity to see Lee, reformed with Dickie, the bass player. Oh man, oh God, it was a while back. It was in Golden Gate Park, and yours truly was, I was out there, but man, when I heard them start to swing, it was killer. Man, it was killer. Anyway, this cat is catching the next bus and getting off in Wonderland. It's kind of an abstract-ish color cover. It works. I'm eventually going to rip all this plastic off because I hate these big stickers. And I know people are going to be going, what? Don't do that. What? You know, you're going to devalue it. You know what? I play this stuff. Who cares? Anyway, I don't buy it to make money on it. This is good. So let's talk about it just for a minute. There's another, well, before I say about another tune, there's a couple other musicians that are on this record that were living over in Mill Valley when Jeff Beck was living out here. Because Jeff lived in Mill Valley for about 2 years when he was doing the Jeff Beck Group's second LP with Rod Stewart. Mickey Wallers is on this record, and so is Nicky Hopkins. So, what I'm getting at is there's another tune on this LP called Driftin', and it moves along in a surreal, and I'm going to use that word again, pastoral way, with Nicky laying down a melody with a touch of proggish departure. Could you believe that? I can. It's happening. He lays down some guitar work over it, but it's just, this whole record was him doing whatever he wanted to do. You know, it wasn't some preformed concept like the Cheer was once they got going and did their thing. I'm not saying it's bad that he ain't like the Cheer. I'm just saying he was doing his thing, man, and ain't that what it's all about? You do your thing. I'm doing mine. I hope to goodness you're doing yours. Okay. So don't look for Blue Cheer to be home on this LP, baby. He's stepping into a hippified groove, lacing about a lot of short, sharp bursts of guitar, mangling, with a lot of floating notes. I'm saying thumbs up here. A real eye poker, gotta get it. Cool, reasonable, you want it, you need it. Now, what kind of a guide through space and time would I be if I didn't come up with a really obscure LP? What? You mean something more obscurified than what I've already churned up? Well, yeah, baby, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to dig it up and dig it up because I'm digging it. Hey! Whoa! I'll have a shovel on the show sometime. Anyway, no, I won't. Okay, this one trips the light fantastic with moi. I mean, click, click, baby. Lights on, lights off. This one is a blender of Eastern music with Western sounds. They're colliding into the crab nebula called Orient Express. Oh, true. Now, let me talk about these guys because it's important. This three-piece amalgamation is a Belgian gentleman, a Frenchman, and an Iranian drummer extraordinaire. Now, I want to tell you about these cats. They're all classically trained, but our Iranian drummer was awarded some kind of outstanding medal of merit for his this guy was some kind of superstar in Iran on drums. If you're familiar with Iranian drumming, Middle Eastern drumming in general, you know what I'm talking about. There's all these polyrhythms and also, you know, I'm tuned into well, anyway, forget that stuff. This guy was cool. He's on spot. He's on spot. So, music-wise, there's these really a bunch of musical collaborations with weird instruments according to American standards. There's an Arabic oud, which is kind of a plunky sound, and I dig it. I dig it a lot. It reminds me of a balalaika kind of a thing, but not so high-pitched. There's Indian sitar, gotta love that. I know I do. There's guitar material that is of the explosionary kind of acid ethno rock and luminous folk heavy raga music. Ooh! I am overly educated. Fat chance of that. Now, I say that's a quaint description, eh? So, let's fire up the hookah. I'm all for that. And down some green tea and listen to a creation called Fruit of the Desert. And I will see you later at the Wadi. Nothing in the desert, and no man needs nothing. What? Sorry, I was placed in a sense of suspended animation by that tune. Here's the cover. Very cool, very cool. On the Mainstream label. Mainstream, they don't get enough credit. They just don't. These guys were so out front, backside, with what was going on all over the planet. I mean, babies, these guys deserve an award in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, blah, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame most of the time. Anyway, don't want to go there. These Wanderers of the Plain really launched into early world music, you know, like Mickey Hart got into with his drumming. Exact same thing, but precursors by, I don't know, 10 years or more for Mickey. And Mickey was like on top of it before you knew it. So anyway, I kind of like the Eastern influence of Psych. That reminds me of Kaleidoscope. You know, when Kaleidoscope first came out, dig them. If you don't know much about them, which I'm sure you do if you're watching this particular Channel 12, you know what Kaleidoscope is. Dig them again, you know, drag them out. Every once in a while I do. And throw them out on the floor and look at them and then put something on a turntable and let it happen. You'll dig what I'm saying. There's so many variants of Psych cascading out of the 60s. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. It isn't always heavy fuzz. It ain't always, you know, lyrics that turn you into some kind of a placid pool of liquid. You know, there's things that are going on. It makes me have a meltdown of my brainage, man. Can you dig that? I'm telling you, a total meltdown of my brainage. Oh, so just jump on the train for a sightseeing voyage and don't fence me in, baby. Whew, look at the time. I don't have a clock, but I know it's 4:20 somewhere. But before we go, I want to throw a few things out there before we get to the bumper music, just to show you that the captain is serious about doing blues. Because I got the blues, baby. Woo! Alright, we're talking about Jimmy Reed, you know. Holy crapola. You know, Jimmy Reed is all over the Rolling Stones. I mean, all over the Rolling Stones. They were Keith Richards was stealing licks off of him more than Chuck Berry. Well, Chuck Berry didn't steal riffs off of him. Mick was stealing riffs off of Chuck Berry too. But I'm not saying that's all a bad thing. It's just a matter of taking your, you know, your muse, wherever it may be, and just moving with it and doing with what you got to do with it. So we're going to do some Jimmy Reed. Oh, this was a good one. Electric Mud, Muddy Waters, man. This is a really outstanding LP. So we're going to throw some of this on the disc Platter-Picator. And last but not ever so least, Otis Rush. Woo! Baby, Otis drives me up the wall, drags me back down on the floor, and then drives me up the wall again. I'm digging Otis. He's happening. He is happening. So, there you go. That's what's in store for you. Now, so, let's inhale our bumper music for today. And that is, if I can find it, oh my goodness, oh, there it is. It's the soundtrack to a movie called 1917. Now, your captain, as you well know, loves soundtracks. Not just because I like the movies. Sometimes I really don't like the movie, but I love the soundtrack. But because they put me in a headspace that I'm digging. And believe it or not, your captain loves to groove on stuff that's emotional. Not some chick flick. No offense, ladies. But something that would, you know, put this dagger in my heart. You know, something emotional, something really intense. Something that drags you into the film. And this one does it. The film is really authentic and dramatic. It's a World War I film. I'm not saying war is good, war is bad, war is horrible. My mother's father on this planet was a decorated individual from the Great World War I in Ballywood. Got to throw that in there, you know. He's the real deal. And that's how this movie gestated and happened, from tales from the director's grandfather. And so it's pretty intense, it's pretty powerful and emotional movie and score. So, enough said. It's cool. Guess what? It's on green vinyl. And are you into green vinyl? I don't know, but you vinyl color collectors are probably way tuned in. So, now we must say so long. Until the next exciting, adventurous episode of Return to the Perfumed Gardens. Same bat channel, same bat era. Leave comments. Please, leave some comments. I'm digging it. You know, I've been getting them. I didn't get them before, but all of a sudden, I'm getting a few here and there, and I like that. You know, I like to know that I'm talking to somebody out there besides space, but I'm still thanking all of my subs. Can't believe it. I was never one to really get out of control about not having any subs. I just want to have somebody watching this stuff and maybe gaining something out of it, or giving me information that I can gain out of it. You know, it's a two-way street. Let's dig it. Let's make it work. So, leave your comments, good or bad, and I love your feedback. Duh, in any form. So, peace, love, and flowers. That's what they said at Monterey, and that's what I say now. Till the twain shall meet, may we all be safe, because we are.